Okay, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Just Free. At the laundromat, trying to get some clothes washed. Coming at you with another video. This is another reading from the magnificent author Soncerae Monique Smith. Okay, so here we go. I'm just gonna start reading, and I'll be commentating. So hopefully, hope you enjoy. If not, go take a shit. Here we go. I'm starting off on this one, on this particular article, whatever you want to call it, like halfway through, because I did a video earlier on the top half of it, and I didn't like it, so I'm just starting in the middle, kinda. So anyway, not that you care. She says, I'm poly. People get confused by that. Polyamory is about more than one relationship. And those relationships are not based on sex. And sometimes sex doesn't even happen. It's about love. Go research polyamory. Promiscuity is about more than one sexual partner. And it's always about sex. Men feel some type of way about that too. But that's an entirely different blog entry. What? Polyamory is about love? So you want to love the people that you get into these situations with, whether or not you have sex? That sounds very exhausting. That sounds really exhausting. But go ahead, girl. Relationships and marriage are give and take. They will never be equal because men and women are built different. And you definitely built different. There are things that women bring on to the table that men don't. And there are things men bring to the table that women don't. Each person gets to decide what type of arrangement they want. There's no set recipe for success. In my Black Singles Mom group on Facebook, majority of the mothers have been married and are either headed for divorce or already there. She loved calling herself, pointing that out. She just, that's that makes her so happy. Girl, what point are you trying to prove? They are having so many problems with co-parenting with their exes. Sometimes I post their advice requests on my YouTube community tab. You mean you copy posts? Anyway, so to me, pushing society's indoctrination to women that marriage is going to save them is redundant. Who said marriage is going to save anybody? That don't even make sense. Nobody said that. Males will still abandon women with children if they don't want to be there. There she go with the abandonment. There is another YouTube content creator named Olivia who has a channel called Lives Life. Her husband, oh boy, all right, this gonna be it. This gonna might be juicy. Her husband used to participate in her videos. They are currently separated, and he has abandoned her with their children. In one of her recent videos, she spoke about how she wished he loved his children the way she does. Oh, it's so much to say about that. You fucking retarded bitch, you. And yes, I said it. First of all, as a grown woman, you know that there's always three sides to a story: his, hers, and the truth. Bitch, you don't know what the fuck went down. You don't know. You don't know his side. It ain't your business. And she a fool for putting her business online any fucking way, bitch. But you think you could sit up here and judge that situation and judge that man based off of what that bitch said after she had another nigga in her house with her babies that she met offline or wherever the fuck she met him? She don't sound like she too together her damn self just because she got the kids. Bitch, that don't mean shit. And you don't know what that bitch putting him through to see his kids. You don't know. the fuck out of here. And for the record, this is kind of random, but Aretha Franklin. I was watching the movie last night. Her father raised her. I mean, there's a gazillion, there's plenty of single dads. My grandfather, you know, my biological grandmother was a deadbeat, and my grandfather raised my mother along with her adopted mother, but that's another story. Uh, girl, and you know what? Let me see. I know anybody that make it hard. All right, let's continue. Some men and women believe that marriage will save women financially once the relationship is over. What? As if alimony or child support is some kind of come up. These payments will be low if a woman's ex husband or boyfriend's income is low. Well, duh, bitch. That's why you picked priest, bitch. Why do you keep presenting as this high value woman with all this discretion and common sense, yet you picked a man who supposedly makes significantly lower than you? You wanted to marry him. You wanted to do everything to try to fix him and change him and whatever else the fuck you want to do. Um, Girl. Some people get hella alimony, bitch. Some people get hella child support. It's all about who you pick. And you know what? That's another. I should have make a video of the reasons why I'm single. That's another reason why I might be single too. Is because I've always, and I know, like listening. Okay, so what I've learned, I'll just say this because I don't want to keep throwing somebody's name up. But hey, this has really helped me. You know, you can't change a person. Um, Now I had expectations, and there's nothing wrong with that. Um, so I dated professional men, sweetheart. Um, nothing rich, nothing expensive, but they had careers. I dated a firefighter, a cop, a teacher. Well, the firefighter was the teacher too. Um, who else? Uh, oh, sorry, I'm being nosy. So basically, I just never. I always had what I felt like was a standard. Um, oh, what's his name? Worked at the bank. He had he worked. Well, my one boyfriend worked at the bank. Now, here's the deal. He didn't make a lot of money, and that pissed me off because, and I used to weigh those options, kind of like what Kevin Samuels talks about. You know, and like I told my daughter, she was. Damn, I shouldn't say that. Anyway, okay, if you're dealing with a man that has, let's say you're dealing with a man that has 4 children. At the end of the day, if it was me, I always take into account where I fit in because, I'm not going to be number one. That's especially if you have children, clearly. Um, God is always should be first. I want a man that's, into God or whatever. God, his children, his immediate family, then me. There's like an order. Okay. So when I have to decipher or figure out or think about, well, if he don't make this much amount of money and he's got these many kids and we get together and put our incomes together, how is that going to work? And that's why I kind of like part of the reason why, you know what I'm saying? Like cuz I had a friend with 4 kids and I weighed those options cuz I'm like I can't be bothered. But guess what? I'm going to bust my own bubble. He's married. And I saw pictures on Facebook. They had like 3 more kids plus her kid. And they do look happy. So at the end of the day, you know, it's just a matter. You gotta. That was part of my problem. But anyway, enough about me. Um, I said that to say I feel like because you really can't judge a situation. You can weigh out those pros and cons, but you still have to give people room to grow. I guess is what I'm saying. Anyway, some men and women, I don't know. I receive $60 a week in child support. Oh Lord, here we go. When I filed, my son's father, priest, was unemployed and I was working. Now that he's working, he has yet to report, blah, blah, blah. Luckily for me, I have never relied on his income. He was always broke in my eyes. What? Even when I was in love with him. Are you freaking kidding me? Bitch, so what was your contribution to the relationship? Because you was too busy trying to plan a pregnancy in the fucking backseat of whatever you call a Ford pickup truck. Anyway, even when I was when my son's father decided to abandon me with our son, he was under the influence of Minister Jap. Like Minister Jap, some alcohol or a drug. Girl, bye. You've even said this yourself. If a man wants to be kept or a man wants to stay, he'll stay. Apparently, obviously, he didn't want to stay. He did not find your. He did not find you enough of a benefit. Apparently. Our son is 2 years old and they have never met. Child support is garnished from his pay because the payments are so low. Oh, wait, is my computer about to die? I use it to buy stock for our son. Our son owns a percentage of 40 plus companies, and I'll make sure that it continues to grow. Good for you, Soncerae. During my pregnancy, I was unable to work. Says who, bitch? Because I looked like I was carrying twins, busting it down on my feet, doing double shifts as a nurse, and driving home, pulling over, throwing the fuck up. So, yeah, okay. You put yourself on bed rest, but that's another story. And you know what? Using Kevin Samuel's name, uh, these people listening to me from his fan base, they gonna be like, "Who the fuck is this bitch? I gotta see what she all about." Okay. Once my son was born, I was required to get on government assistance until I became employed. She was required. Oh wait, during my pregnancy, no one really hires pregnant women anyway, and I was on bed rest the entire time. I can't with this repetitive. The one time I needed him to take over financially when I was pregnant, but instead of becoming the father he was supposed to be, he decided to listen to Minister Jap. He bring what Minister Jap taught him up in our conversation. My stepfather is dumb for letting a man that was jealous of him dictate what happened in my relationship with him. Yeah, okay. Um, yeah, so that part right there, that alone says a lot about your character and how people perceive you, because if he was willing to take a complete stranger's opinion, for one thing, that makes him slow. Number two, girl, I don't know. Y'all both is a mess. We all a mess. Anyway, I warned Priest about Minister Jap before they began interacting. I told Priest he'd start drama. Years before I met Priest, Minister Jap was harassing me. A lot of people ask me what caused Jap and I to fall out. It may seem like it's more than what it is, but it's not. When I was pregnant with my son, Timothy tried to encourage me to break up with Priest. He called him Dirty Dick Rodney, implying that Priest was promiscuous and beneath me. How the fuck would he know? He then encouraged me to file for child support only to chastise me later for filing, coining me as a typical single mother. Huh. He was. Oh, what was I gonna say? He called him Dirty Dick Rodney, implying that Priest was promiscuous and beneath me. Fuck, I was about to say something. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. How the fuck do you allow your YouTube bullshit to get in between you and your relationship? That's why you left your ass, because it was too much drama, bitch. Maybe had you not been trying to start a channel with a man you just met. Oh, Lord. Anyway, in the beginning, Timothy was struggling to build his fan base online. I already had a decent fan base of men because of my previous modeling career and success. Modeling career. I want to know. Yeah, okay. YouTube channel. I reached out to him asking him if he wanted to do a collaboration. I put trust in him. I wanted to invest my time and energy into black men in hopes that my efforts would help them succeed. In 2016, our first collaboration was one about the 90-day rule. Inside of this video, Timothy was insisting that women have sex on the first date. He was very different from the men you see today who encourage women to oppress their sexuality and marry before they carry. The man who currently has such disdain for single mothers is the same man who wanted to date a single mother, me. He knew I was poly. He knew I used to model lingerie. He knew I was a business owner and had a college degree. None of these things he had an issue with. These things were why he admired me. These are things he suddenly has an issue with now. What I want to know is, what was the problem with, if you poly, why does it matter if women have sex on the first date? What was y'all debating about? Um, He'd call me all hours of the night and day just to talk for hours. He wanted to come to Atlanta to meet me. Timothy was smitten by me. No, Timothy wants to fuck you. However, when he speaks about me, it's a difference between being smitten and want to hit it and quit it. Like, bitch, learn the difference. How about that? However, when he speaks about me to others now, he pretends like he never had an interest in me. That's just a front to impress the betas. Like, seriously, if I was Soncerae, like, you put a lot of time and energy into this bullshit. He's an opportunist. He will do anything in the name of self-preservation. Most people will. Include stabbing friends in the back, orchestrating drama, lying, creating fake profiles, stalking, doxing. Timothy cannot be trusted. What the hell? Oh. Timothy and I scheduled more collaborations because of the success of our first one, but once he added me on Facebook, I began to notice that his timeline was filled with posts that were disrespectful towards women of color and single mothers. I couldn't understand how a man I just worked with who claimed to be interested in me romantically was posting such terrible things about two men on Facebook. So, if he's interested in you romantically, where did he take you out on your dates? Did he introduce you to family members? Did he, you know, invite you to events? Like, come on now, girl. I contacted him and tried to explain to him that there was no way I could keep working with him knowing that he had this type of content on his Facebook page. He responded to me so disrespectfully. He even called me out my name. I hung up and refused to answer his calls. I previously promised my fans that they would get more contact from he and I. I had to create a video telling them that we were no longer working together. This is when the excessive stalking and harassing began. He began calling my phone 100 to 200 times a day, leaving voicemails, sometimes begging me to call him back, sometimes crying. Why wouldn't you say that? Did you post that? Sometimes he'd be so drunk and belligerent that I couldn't understand what he was saying. I was receiving inappropriate emails from him, and he crashed all of my live streams on YouTube. If a moderator blocks him from one account, he'd create another just to come back into my live streams and harass me. He started contacting all of my family members, business partner, friends, anyone he thought I knew, telling them lies about me. He reached out to Chris Law and built some type of weird bromance on him. I even tried to warn Chris that he didn't understand what he was getting into or what he was doing, but he assumed I was blackmailing him. Under Timothy's influence, Chris started telling lies and spreading even more awful rumors about me. Chris Law already spread rumors about our previous sexual experiences we had 10 years prior. He couldn't stop bragging or trying to convince me that somehow I was a problem, even though we never had any real issues. Last time I saw him, he was happily married and was showing me pictures of his newborn son. There was no beef. He introduced me to the swingers lifestyle and through him, oh Lord, I learned about poly relationships. How much longer is this shit? Okay, I'm gonna take a break because I gotta put the clothes in the dryer.